Hey, what's up, guys? This is Big Man Fitness. I'm David Labby. I'm the host. So I've been on a journey. I used to be 408 pounds and last year, and I started. I just had an absolute emotional breakdown. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it or anything like that. And let's just dive into this, right? It was kind of crazy. There was a lot of things going on in my life, and I was just spiraling, and I was stress eating, and I was not taking care of myself. I had a lot of health problems, and my doctor pretty much told me, if you don't change, you're going to die, right? Now here's the kicker. That's not what actually sent me into this journey. I ended up hanging out with my godson, and he wanted to play football. I'm a football guy. I play football. I'm not like a huge football fan, but I used to play football back in high school, and he played football, and we would go out and we'd shoot the ball around, but he wanted to play two-hand touch. So we started hanging out, and we were playing, we were having a great time. 10 minutes in, I was dead. I was absolutely dead. I could barely move. I couldn't keep up with him. And all he wanted to do was play with his uncle. That's it. I'm Uncle Labby. That's what he wanted to do, but I couldn't keep up. And that was a huge wake-up call. I thought I was having a heart attack. I thought that I started getting chest pains. I couldn't breathe. And of course, I can't let my godson know this. I'm not gonna scare my godson. So I went inside, I started taking my pulse, I grabbed some water. I'm pretty much laying across the counter trying to rest and catch my breath, and he comes in, he wants a snack, and I'm trying to hold myself together. It was just, it was a little crazy. It was an intense moment, but that was a wake-up call, one of many, because it wasn't just one thing. I kept on screwing up. I kept on, I've been to the ER a handful of times over the last 6 years for numerous problems. I mean, mostly out of my own stupidity, doing something stupid with my buddies, but, there was a few times where I was having, heart palpitations. I had chest pain. I couldn't breathe. I would go in. I'd get an EKG, and I had them do a stress test. I went through the whole 9 yards, and they said that I had an amazing ticker, but there was all these other things. After a few visits to the doctors told me that I was diabetic. They told me that I was hypertensive, that I had extremely high blood pressure. There was one point where I went into to the doctors, and they said that I was 170 over 120. Guys, that means that your heart's almost about to explode, right? All these things accumulated, and it just added up. I needed to change, so I made a decision. I decided to just start. That's it. I decided to start, and it sucked. It absolutely sucked. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was doing all this crazy stuff at first. I tried P90X, and I'm not knocking on P90X. I think it's an excellent program for people that are fit. And as Tony Horton says, do your best, forget the rest. It's totally cool. I'm all about that. I am totally for doing that. But I was trying to keep up, and it just wasn't sustainable. My weight was fluctuating up and down. My diet was crap. I would eat healthy, eat crappy, eat healthy, eat crappy. I was fluctuating. I kept on going back up and down between 360 and 380. And then finally I said, enough is enough. I have to make a lifestyle change. I have to do something, right? Is there any way that I can make a difference right now, to make a plan and change exponentially in a certain amount of time? But something that I can transition into a more sustainable lifestyle. That's what I wanted. I wanted something that was sustainable, that could work with my life, right? So I was like, okay, what's the most extreme that I could go, that I could try out for 91 days, 13 weeks? And I did. On March 5th, I was 355 pounds. As of today, it's June 4th, I'm 289. That's 66 pounds lost, an average of 22 pounds a month, right? Now here's the kicker. I actually lost 51 of those pounds in the first 5 weeks, and then I stalled. I was not as consistent as I could be. There was a lot of different things going on in my life, but that's the point, is that life's going to happen. It's going to kick you in the nuts. that's what happens with life, man. Like, you just can't let it keep you down. And you have to adjust and adapt. You have to make time and put the effort into this in order to get the results that you want. But that doesn't mean that you have to make it super complicated. Making things simple by matching things up in your lifestyle, like drinking more water. If you were going to do anything to start today, I would say start drinking 8 to 16 ounces of water as soon as you get up in the morning, before every single meal, before you take a shower, before and after you work out, and already you're going to be at about a gallon, right? If you are over 300 to 400 pounds like I was, start with water. That's it. That's all I'm going to tell you. Next, so there's 3 components when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to consistent and actual trackable weight loss. Your intake, what you're putting into yourself, your outtake. Now, this is not, a lot of people are like calories in, calories out. No. There is no perfect setting for that. Calories do matter to a certain extent, but they're not the end all be all. The quality in your calories does. But intake, your expenditure, your exercise, and your timing. Those are the 3 most important characteristics that you need to work on in order to stay consistent. But all you have to do is just change one small thing in each thing. That's it. You don't have to go and do P90X where you're doing literally like 30 to 50 reps, push-ups. Dude, I was dying on the floor. But I incorporated different lifestyles, different small changes that built up over time. And you can too. And that's what I invite you for, is to join me on this journey. I'm doing a ketogenic diet. I'm all about building muscle, burning fat. That's what I want. And having functional fitness, right? I want to have larger muscles because I like being a big guy. I'm 6'1". I like the masculinity of the musculature of being big, right? But I don't want to be fat, and I don't want to also be a glass brick house. What a glass brick house is, Tim Ferriss talked about it with Charles Poliquin on his podcast, is a guy that's too big and he has no functionality, and you move out of you move improperly in one aspect, and you tear an ACL, you tear a rotator cuff, you slip a disc, you make one small wrong move, you step off with the back tailgate of a truck onto the ground, and you sprain your ankle, right? Or you tear your knee. Why? Because I know this. I used to work out all the time, and I used to injure myself because I had no functionality. I wasn't stretching properly. I didn't have the functionality. There's a way to build muscle and have the functionality, but I also want to lose weight. So those are the 3 primary aspects. So I want that nutrition, the functionality, and I want to look decent. Why? Because I like having that confidence in myself. I prefer it. I like being able to know that I'm being respected by my peers and by others around me. And I've already noticed that. In the past 13 weeks, I've gotten more engagement from my friends, my family, that everybody's treating me differently. Why? Because I know what I'm doing. And it's not really everything about how I look. It's also about how I present myself and how I carry myself. Knowing what I'm doing and having confidence in the work and the effort that I'm putting forth into this has given me more confidence. It's a compound effect. This is how I started, was by watching YouTube videos of other guys that were just as fat as me losing weight. And I was just like, Jesus, that guy that can lose 100 pounds, why can't I? So as of right now, I've lost 120 pounds, and I know you can. And it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be that difficult. You can make a difference to yourself. All you have to do is just take one step in the right direction. As a famous Japanese proverb once said, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. It doesn't have to be 1,000 miles, but at least from here to the gym will probably be about 20 to 30, right? So, hey, just start off by, cutting out soda and drinking more water. Putting lemon in your water. Some of you guys are like, I hate lemon water. Hey, that's fine. You don't have to drink the lemon water, but, I learned to like it. I love it now. It's part of my daily routine, and it's made a huge difference for me. So anyway, I just want to leave you with that. So remember, guys, be informed, stay motivated. live big. Have a good one.